That's all right. Stay right here. Hello, I got back a little later than I thought I would get back, so I've got to get some dinner on because the grandson gets out at 3:30, and what I did was I took some chicken and I boiled it in water, and I added a little bit of the better than broth bouillon. It's like a paste, and I've got the chicken ready and boiled, and the broth ready. But I just wanted to tell you, I'm just making some noodles like I make them, not like I did the one that the older lady that I found a recipe for. My grandson told me, he said, "Grandma, I like yours better." So I'm going to make mine. And all I did was put, I put three cups. This is a half a cup. So I put 3 cups of flour. I put 3 eggs. And I put a little bit of water. Not much, about 1/4 a cup. I always put a little bit of water because it makes them easier. I don't know how, but it makes them better. So that's what I did with that. And I always put just a pinch of oil in it, just a pinch. And then I mix it all up, and I just do it with my hands. So we're going to get to the peanut butter fudge and the chocolate fudge a little bit later, because I didn't get home in time to do what I was going to do. So definitely going to do it though here a little bit later. But we'll do the peanut butter first because that's what was asked for. So see, you just kind of mix that up. Your 3 cups of flour. And I've got salt in the broth, so I'm not putting it in this. And you just kind of mix that up. 3 eggs, 3 cups of flour. You can eyeball it out and see if you need any more of anything. A dash of oil and about 1/4 a cup of water. A lot of people don't put the water in, but I put the water in because it makes it more pliable and they're not real gooey and hard. So there's my dough, that quick. Let me see. Now I'm going to roll these out. And I just really didn't know what to make today. So I bought that chicken, and I got a lot of chicken. So what I did was I just made not a great big pot, but a pot for Tom and Trace, and in case anybody would stop by. But I'm going to cut that in half. And you see how good that mixes up together with that water in there. And this is, I'm going to take it by half. Spread your flour out. Now when my husband cuts these for me, he uses a pizza cutter. But he put all my utensils like stuff in a sack, and we don't know where he put it, so we're still looking. So you'll just take and roll that out. Put your little bit of flour on that. And if you have a little bit of flour on these, when you put them in the pot, it'll just make like a little bit thicker broth, like a gravy. So this is actually 3 eggs and 3 cups of flour and 1/4 a cup of water and a dash of oil. It makes quite a bit of noodles. So I'm really, at this point, trying to downsize these, because usually when I make them, I got enough for an army. They're never a problem to get rid of, but I still have meatballs I need somebody to eat. When you work in a restaurant and you live in a cabin for 16 years, you make big. You don't make a little, you make a lot. That way it can be eat on and stuff if the electric would go out or somebody'd come by or something. So I'm trying to downsize the noodles today. And this is something you could do that you don't have to wait to a special day and say, oh, well, I think I got time. I'm going to make noodles today. Because I've only got an hour before they are going to be eating. And about 3:30 or 4. And these are the kind you can dry. Or you can put them in. Now, I know a lot of people. Hi, Christine. A lot of you know how to make noodles, and I can't make them without getting it all over me. And usually I have black on for some reason when I make them. So I thought it would be a nice meal because we've been busy all weekend. Running around, trying to get groceries, and the guys need something homemade, you know. They feel better when they have something homemade. Some of them don't. I mean, maybe the younger generation, but yeah, I froze some. I'm going to take some to the lady, Colette, that I take food to. I've got these little metal trays with the lids on top that you can pop them in the oven, and I'm going to take her a thing of them. But yeah, you can freeze them noodles, and then I'll freeze some. It made 24, and we ate 6. So you can freeze them, and I'm freezing them 8 in a thing. And then I'll take her some. But I'm going to freeze them enough to make 4 more subs if I want to make them. So I'll have them in the freezer. This freezer up here is full. And I had a big freezer, but I got rid of it because we wasn't using as much. So what I have is just an extra, I have an extra refrigerator in the back. I still want to make them quesadillas or too. I've got so many things on my mind, but today just felt like I needed to make some noodles for the guys. So I'm going to spread a little bit of that on there so it won't... It's pretty dry, but it doesn't matter if you put flour on it. And as you all know, we have plenty of flour, thanks to my niece. I was so tickled over that. And since my birthday, I have got more things. My sister sent me a card, and my sister-in-law, Maggie, got me a real pretty necklace and bracelet and ring to match. So I wore it last night to church to dedicate our new pastor. Gave him his preacher's license and stuff. He didn't know it for a while, but we've been watching him. We know he has the credentials to do it inside his cell. And then my daughter bought me the outfit I had on last night in church and a necklace and earrings. So I wore them so we can just say they dressed me. So we'll cut them, and you can cut them any way you want. On the next one, I'll show you how to cut them a different way. And this is the old way, how they used to do it, and probably still do through the years. Okay. The meatballs, hey, for you guys, you can have them. It'd tickle me to death. So this is the way that I've always watched them do this when I was younger. And I like my noodles a little thin. I don't like them. Some people like them real thick and everything. But I just kind of like them thin. And sometimes I'll take carrots and just shred a carrot. Just one to make it prettier. And see, both of these would be enough noodles to put some of them away. You can freeze the noodle dough, but it's better to freeze or dry the noodles and then put them in bags, or take the noodles and make them, put them on a pan and freeze them like I told you to do the other stuff, the bread, and then when they freeze, put them in bags and just throw them in the freezer. And when you make your broth, then you take them right out of the bag, but don't let them thaw out. Just take them out of the bag froze when you get your broth ready and throw them in there. So see, you could have all of this stuff. You could have all of these things in your freezer. And if somebody just stops by or you're having company, you don't have to go all out. You've already done it. And you could have noodles one night when they're there, or, you could have mashed potatoes and noodles. You could have meatballs one night. You could just do all kinds of stuff, and you could already have that. If you know that somebody is going to be there, you could have this ready. See how nice them noodles are? So perfect to me, because I like them like this. And just a matter of minutes you can have these. It's not no big thing you have to take your day apart and do it. It's just something you can do in minutes. And what I'll do with some of these is I'll just get the broth back up to boil and throw them in there and have them ready. And then I only put like 3 chicken, where the leg and thighs together, and made broth out of it. And then I'll pick that chicken off the bone. I was going to make chicken drop soup, but I'm not going to do that because I know they won't like it. Yeah, Patricia, either way. Okay, Hannah, do you want some noodles, or do you want the meatballs, or you just want to play to whatever we're doing? So you just cut these, you can do them this way. And I've had noodle cutters. Hi, what are you doing home? What are you doing home? Oh, that's right. I never set my clock up. I never set my clock up in the kitchen, so I'm thinking he's going to be home in an hour. Come here, Trace. And he walks in the door, and I'm like, what are you doing home? And he's like, what? And I need to set my clock up because I've been going by my cell phone. Sorry, Trace. I guess you're going to have to wait on dinner now because I got the time wrong. He's going to set it up so we won't have that problem. We've been so busy, we just never thought about it. Hi, Christine. You've never made noodles, Christine? We'll make meatball subs, Hannah. Hannah and your dad's going to come down tomorrow, the next day. I'll just go ahead and put them in that pan and put them in the freezer, and then we'll drag them out and put them in the oven. They'll be just as good. So I got my time wrong today, and that's why I'm a lot later than I thought, I guess. Let's see how these are. I'll have these will be ready in probably 20 minutes. So that's how you do them. This is the ones you like. And when my mom used to make noodles, she always had them laying out on the table like this, drying and stuff. And I'd run through the house and I'd get me one and eat it. So good. You're not supposed to eat it because you got raw eggs in it. But we did. We snuck through the house and ate it. Now, we got these. We'll put them over here. I'm good. You have a good day? Good. My grandson tutors and stuff, so he always has days to talk about. Did you tutor today? You did. Who'd you tutor today? People? People! He tutored people. Well, now that we found out I was wrong on the time, we understand now why I've got so much pep today. You just put your flour over there beside you, maybe a cup of it, and just keep putting it on there. It's not going to hurt it a bit. That's okay, Christine. It's always easy to make them if you ever want to try it. And it's sad to say, but you know them noodles, you just get them real cheap noodles in the store? I like them. I like to just throw them in some broth and eat them. Now this one, we'll take and do it, show you another way you can do this. You cut the rough edges off. Make a square. And I'll cut them, make noodles out of them. And you just cut across like this. And you can take these and cut down the middle. And you can stack them. Stack them like that. I do them both ways. Whatever way I want to do it is the way I do it. We'll just put them together like that. You can stack them, and you can let them lay. Let me get these cut up. You can let them lay for 10-15 minutes, and they'll get a little bit stiffer, and you can cut them better. Make sure there's flour there. I'll just cut these up for little pieces to put in with them. Yes, my husband, he uses a pizza cutter. I was saying at the beginning of the tape, but the thing of it is he put them in a sack, a bunch of my utensils when we cleaned out our kitchen drawers, and I don't know where they're at. I don't know where my little cake thing is. I don't know where a lot of stuff is, so we're looking for it, though. I'll find it. It's in a sack somewhere, I can guarantee you that. So you can take these and cut them like this. If you like stacking them in squares. Like I've tried to tell you, I've had a noodle cutter, I've had a noodle maker, I've had all kinds of stuff, and I keep going right back to this. Because to me, it's fun. So see, you got basically the same thing, only it's more of an even cut on the ends, and these aren't. These are just, so either way you want them, there you are. But I do notice that the when you roll them and cut them thin, to me they look better. So this is going to make more noodles than I was wanting to make, really. But I'll see what goes in the pot I made and of broth, and I always have extra broth if I need it, and I'll just go ahead and make up some. or freeze. I don't know. We'll see what we got here. So you got them. They're a little bit thicker. See? I still think I like the ones that you roll. So I'm going to take this little piece here and roll it. But I just wanted to show you that you can stack them if you want them a little thicker or more even. I don't think the people eating them much cares. They just want noodles. I remember when I first tried to make noodles, it was a disaster. They stuck together when I rolled them because I didn't put enough flour in them. And when my sister-in-law froze some for me and told me to make them, I let them thaw out and then tried to put them in the broth, and they were all stuck together. So this is how many noodles it's made. Like I said, it's a very easy job. They smell so good. Nothing like homemade egg noodles. My sister, my baby sister, she makes really good noodles, but she buys the Reams noodles. But this here is something that my family loves, and my grandchildren absolutely love them. And I still need to make Kai Babies gluten-free ones. I just need to get the flour, the gluten-free flour, to do it. Poor thing. So there you go. There's your pal noodles. And I remember teaching the boys, or Elijah one time, he was going like this. He liked to take them. I used to love to watch my mom go like this. And just dangle them through her hands and get them, all them circles out. So there you are. This is what we're having. A hand or two full of noodles here in a little bit. And I will get to the fudge. And I thank y'all for coming on. But yeah, my husband doesn't use the pizza cutter when I have him cut them. And he's a perfectionist. It takes him a long time to do it. But when he does, they're good. They're really nice looking. Amish noodles is the best for me, next to me making my own. Yeah, I've seen them, and I have made them before, but noodle making to me is a fun thing. And I mean, just think how many of these you can make in an hour's time and freeze them, or just have a whole table and let them dry out real quick and then freeze them. Now, I did have some one time that I had a bunch, a whole table full. And I made a big mistake. I just layered a piece of foil, and I think it was foil. I just laid over the top so there wouldn't be nothing get in them, what I was thinking. But what happened, it turned them all gray. They were the ugliest looking noodles, and you know what I did? I dumped every one of them, because I wasn't sure why they looked so greenish gray. And I thought, well, they're molded inside. So I'll never do that again. And why I thought to do that was silly, because you don't want to cover anything up. You want to dry out. But it was just one of my mistakes I learned from. Yes, I am going to post the recipe here. And Christine, you go back to the beginning and you'll see where I started. But I didn't show putting the 3 cups of flour and the 3 eggs and that. So I'll post the recipe for you. I just showed after I had the dough done. So I've got the broth ready in a pan. The pan's about this big and that high. So I'll throw these in there, and that's what they'll have for supper. Chicken and homemade noodles. So God bless you all, and I will be on later to do the 3-minute fudges. We need to get them done before I take the other stuff to this woman. So anyway, God bless you.